Hi viewers, welcome back to our signature segment, See the Stories. Now, as we mentioned on our headlines, today's discussion revolves around the future. When we talk about the future, it's not just about cool advanced new tech, right? But also about the crucial role of human resources, particularly our youth.
Now, recognizing this, the Indonesian government, through the Ministry of Youth and Sport, has launched a visionary program since 1973. How about that? Now, called the Pertukaran Pemuda Antar Negara, or International Youth Exchange Program. Now, this initiative aims to empower the nation's youth by expanding their understanding and viewpoints, preparing them for global challenges ahead.
So to know more the details about this interesting program and to learn more about this impactful program and its journey, joining us in the studio today, we have Bapak Esa Sukmawija, Assistant Deputy for International Youth Development Kenny Fernando, Chairman of the Alumni Organization and Program Alumni Gabby Victoria, and Michiko Mokodompit. So thank you so much for being here, guys.
Okay.
Hi. How are you today? All good?
Fine.
Oh, fine.
My name is Esa Sukmawijaya.
Sukmawijaya. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for the
My
apology.
name is Esa.
Pa Esa, we're going to call you
Yes.
Pa Esa for
Thank
today. All right. So, Pa Esa, could you explain to us what the International Youth Exchange Program is all about and what is the core objectives of this program?
Okay, actually, this is a kind of the program annually. It is designed by the Ministry of Education before, and then several years ago, come to the Ministry of Youth and Sport in Indonesia. I think the first of youth exchange program is what we call SEAP.
Okay.
SEAP, it means that Ship for Southeast Asian and Japanese Youth Program. It has been established in 1973, so far as I know. So up to now, it's more than it's about 50 years old, right? So after that, we have also youth exchange program with Canada, and then with China, with Italy, and something like that. And right now, this year, at our ministry, we have three kind of youth exchange program.
Okay.
With SEAP, as I mentioned previously, okay, the first one. The second one with what we call Singapore, okay, and the third one with Malaysia. For next year with Malaysia.
Okay, starting next year.
This year also we have exchange program with Australia. What actually the aim, the purpose of this program? In order to facilitate the young people from Indonesia to go abroad. You think about going abroad? This is a good experience for them to learn deeply about mutual understanding, about culture performance, because we have a lot of, we actually, Indonesia is a rich of, popular in the world in terms of something like dancing, singing, and food and something like that. So in this context, we should know about how the young people is a good potential to learn deeply about mutual understanding, respecting among others, about one of the program on US program is what we call living in harmony, what we call in the homestay, right? So in the program, they learn about the food, about the habits, something like that. Because we are a global citizen. Think globally, but don't forget, act locally.
Interesting. Now, still, Pa Esa, how many different programs are under this initiative? And again, the program is for the entire country, for Indonesia. So how do you ensure they are spread evenly across the Indonesian provinces?
Yes, actually we have here 38 provinces, right? So just for instance, this year we have 53 young people. We select actually the potential young people from the province. So we believe that alumni of the program, what we call PCMI, Punacara Kemudian Indonesia, is they are in all of the province in Indonesia. They select collaboration with the local government, what we call Dinas Pemuda Olahraga in every kind of provinces. So, but before that, we decide that something like, for instance, Jakarta. Last year, young people from Jakarta go to, let's say, to Malaysia, for instance, and say, okay, next year, don't go to Malaysia, but go to China, go to Italy, go to SEA program, something like that. Also talking about gender. Yep, male and female, right?
Yeah.
From West Java, for instance, last year we chose the male one, but this year the other one. So we have to think about the justice and fairness.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now we have a question for Ken, of course. So Ken, we understand that the selection process kicks off at provincial levels. Could you give us more details on how this works? And Paisa himself mentioned about the selection, how fierce and how, we want to know about the competition itself because, now everybody can get picked, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting because if you want to participate in the PPAN, you have to go to the provincial level first.
Right.
So the Spora and also PCMI will create the committee and also a panel of judges to select firstly top 15 of each program. And after that, they will be invited to do the 2-day selection process covering about English, about nationalism, about psychology, about community development, and so on. And after that, we will select top 10 from each program.
Okay.
And then from top 10, we will invite them to undergo the quarantine. Will be about 1 until 2 weeks. And during the quarantine, they will be equipped with the soft skills such as the public speaking, teamwork, social problem skills, and so on. And then this is something special in Jakarta because we expect top 10 to have like cultural performance to close the quarantine process. And then in the closing ceremony, we will announce top 5 to be sent to the national selection process. And then this national selection process will be done by the Ministry of Youth and Sport, by Paisa and team.
Yeah.
And then they will assess about the SIs and also about the final interview before finally being selected as the official candidate for each from each provinces. And also for each program. So yeah.
That is quite a long process.
Those quarantine, are they happen in each province or everybody brought to
So in Jakarta, especially in Jakarta, we will be doing like a designated place where they gather in a certain time and also place. Then we can just focusing on, learning and also sharing about the topic and also the aspect of quarantine. So.
Yeah, but with this long process, how are the feedback from the members though? Like, I want to know, like, are they still like exciting until the end, or how are they?
Yeah. So again, it's not like a sprint, but it's more into like the marathon where we have to keep our spirit and also our determination. So far we get like the top 10 and then we get top 5 and eventually we become friends. Even like they still in the WhatsApp group. So yeah, still worth of like having the family and etc. So yeah.
Okay,
2
well,
weeks marathon. That's all. Now, as I understand, Jakarta landed 2 exciting programs this year: Australia Indonesia Youth Exchange Program and the Southeast Asia Japanese Youth Program. So, what does those program entail?
Yeah. So every year, special region of Jakarta will receive a different allocation of program, and thankfully, Paisa. So this year we got 2 programs, IEP and also SEAP. So. Those programs are substantially different because one will go to Australia and interact with the Australian counterpart and going back again for Indonesian stage. And another one will embark in the Nippon Maru under SEA program. And thankfully we have here Michiko and also Gaby for telling us more about the program itself. But both programs are very interesting to participate in.
Wow, interesting. All right, so then we're just going to go straight to Michiko then. Michiko, for those who are participating in IEP, could you take us through your month-long adventure in Australia and what activities stood out and which one did you enjoy the most? I just want to know what you guys did there. After all this process, like, was it worth it?
Well, thank you for having me here. So I joined IEP back in 2019 and I stayed in Canberra, Brisbane, also Indonesian phase, Surabaya and also Malang. As mentioned before, IEP is a long-standing collaboration between Australian government and Indonesian government. It's been established since 1982, so it's been more than 40 years already. And we have, I believe, hundreds of, even thousands of alumni. And then the program itself emphasizes on people-to-people relationship between 2 nations and 2 youth of Indonesian and Australian. And it splits into 2 stages, Indonesian phase and Australian phase. The highlight of the program includes we stay at the host family, and then we were placed in a workplace to do an internship. We also got to perform cultural performances and like culture dance and then culture songs, and then we got to do what we call a courtesy call. So back then in 2019, it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years already. To say it was an amazing experience would be an understatement. It was life-changing for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really life-changing because I have my host family, I have little sister, I have my host father and mother that I still connected to this day.
Yeah.
And all the Indonesian delegates were placed into different workplace to do an internship based on their educational background and also their interest. And then we, as the Indonesian delegates, went months of training and preparation to do performance like Saman dance from Aceh, and then Elok Elok Pukek from Bengkulu, and then we got to perform Indonesian song medley in front of schools, event and gathering and so on. And we even got to introduce and taught Saman dance in front of hundreds of school students in a small town in Queensland. And then, of course, I would say my favorite part, beside the fact that I gained a lifetime of friendship and family, of course, it will be an internship. My internship experience would be really life-changing for me because I got to intern in Parliament of Australia and Legislative Assembly in Canberra. I met so many amazing politicians there. I got to learn politics, Indonesia and Australia, and then I wrote a speech, got rewarded for it. It was really rewarding. And later this experience brought me to new opportunities to my career path here in Indonesia. So yeah, it was pretty life-changing.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Can I join too? Can I apply? I mean, hearing all the stories.
If you are still young.
No.
That's a good spirit of young people.
I know, I love the spirit.
Although that pressure, learning all that dances and singing,
Yeah.
I'm good. I mean, I have a lot of follow-up questions, but I have a question for Gabby. Now, the SIAP sounds, now this kind of quite unique because you're spending 40 days. Now, it's on Nippon Maru ship organized by Japanese cabinet. Now, how's that experience for you?
So it's very different and very challenging
Yeah.
in this kind of world right now, in digitalization era, in which everyone's like always on somebody else's time, phone. We never see youth without their phone, right?
Yeah.
But when we are in the ship in Nippon Maru, imagine we don't have any cell phone. You can hold your cell phone, but only for note-taking and for pictures, because there's no internet.
Okay.
So that's a very life-changing moment in which you can experience the intimacy because you get the time to really connect with the people that you met there. You really need to utilize the time for external, meaning relationship with other people from other countries. You can utilize the time to really get to know them and immerse yourself in the activities. Because in the ship, it's a cruise ship, but unlike when you're doing a holiday, here in the cruise ship, you're doing something of the activities that is related to the countries, other countries, member of the Asian countries. And also internally, you need to be able to manage the internal Indonesia contingent. You need to be able to communicate well, because then you need to present yourself as a team, but without the phone. So imagine it. So that's a very life-changing. And also we got to experience a lot of different stuff, unlike the other program. For example, flag hoisting. So flag hoisting is when we want to go to another country. For example, when my batch, we went to 4 countries besides Japan. So we land in Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and Brunei Darussalam. So before we embark towards the country that we were gonna visit, we hold a flag ceremony. So it's like a way for us to give salute to the country that we're visiting. So every member of the countries, all of the Asian countries and Japan, gather in the hall, and then we join in the flag hoisting ceremony to give salute. So that's a very life-changing experience. Second of all, before we get off the ship, we need to do flag cheers. So every country is doing their signal flag cheers. So it's a cheers, but holding the national flag. So it's a very prideful moment for us. And the third of all is, like Michiko said, and Paesa also said, the life-changing experience is when you're doing a host family activity. So unlike when you're being a tourist, you just go here and there to holiday places, taking some picture. You never know the actual culture of the place, right? But we are being immersed 3 days, 2 nights with our host family. So we really get the time to know each other, talking deeply, like knowing each other. Like Michiko said, I still talk with my host family until now.
Yeah.
So that's a very life-changing, and that makes us have an experience unlike any other tourist, once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
And sadly, need to inform that Nippon Maru, the ship, actually is the second ship. So we have another ship previously, and Nippon Maru will have its last journey on this January 2026.
Okay.
So last batch of setup that's gonna be using the Nippon Maru. After that, Nippon Maru will be out of service, and we will be using another ship. So I think it's a very life-changing experience, and in January, February 2026, all of the batches previously that used the ship gonna gather because they're gonna visit Malaysia or Singapore and also Thailand. So people, I imagine all of them are gonna gather to reminisce about the ship itself because it's a very dear experience to us.
Exactly. Now, Paesa, when you
Yes.
listen to, these members that went on this journey and, hearing about their stories,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that? Like, what comes to your mind? Like, this is the reason why we have this program,
Yeah, that's why I'm very proud of this kind of program, because I'm not a young anymore, but looking like baby face maybe. That's why our minister told us to please to keep this program running well every year. Not just like SEA program, not just with Australia that I mentioned before, but also please go to around the world.
Yes.
Next year, we will have youth exchange program with Saudi Arabia, okay? And also with Malaysia, as I mentioned previously. And also with Russia, with China. And the other thing is with the New Zealand. New Zealand, we have maybe for the last 3 years, we do the youth exchange with New Zealand, but this is especially for the young people who lives in the expat region of Indonesia, something like Papua, Maluku, Sulawesi, Nusa Tenggara, and Bali, and something like that. You see, this is a kind of the good program. Like I mentioned before that, we have to think about local issue. But at the same time, because we have young people, this is great potential also to go abroad, feel them about any kind of solution, innovation, something like that, and go back to Indonesia to please implement. The other thing is what we call post-program activity, right?
Okay.
After we go back to Indonesia to please to implement. But right now, not just activity. This is the new branding for our minister, what we call post-program innovation. So we have to increase the quality of the activity and this activity, but innovation. That's incredible, amazing, I think.
Yeah.
That's great. So it doesn't just end there, but there's a post-program after that.
Yes.
Ken, I want to go to you for a second. So Purna Caraka Muda Indonesia, the PCMI, and then you have the post-program activities.
Right.
Can you talk more about that and like what's the impact and follow-up initiative on those programs?
Yeah. So as Esa said earlier, for the past few years, ministry has been emphasizing on more into the community development, meaning that we envision our delegate to have a post-program innovation after going back from the program. So under the Alumni Association or PCMI, we are very proud to have several initiatives done by our alumni. For example, we have Jakarta Youth Choir, was created by KCEPO, Genesis program. So that's basically the hub for people to sing and even winning international competition around the world. We also have the Jakarta Mengabdi, was created by our alumni from TISA from Malaysia, IMIEP. So that's kind of initiative that empower youth in Jakarta also. We have so many initiatives that we hopefully can actually improve the situation in Jakarta and solve the problem, because by that it reflects our ongoing commitment to not only prepare for the youth ambassador, but also to cultivate the change makers that bring positive impact that's still aligned with the ministry mission, which is something that PPAN is all about. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It sounds so much fun, but
But remember,
is there age limitation?
there's age limitation, the long
Yes,
process of
limitation.
selection also.
Yeah.
But okay, last question for all the alumni, I guess. Why do you think the youth should try and apply for this student exchange program or youth exchange program?
Why?
Okay, maybe I'll give my piece of mind
Alright,
first.
sure.
So, like Michiko said, we always use this term like to say that this is a life-changing and one in a lifetime opportunity is a very understated because it is. Even like Paisa said, for example, like SEA program, one of the oldest one, we've been here for like more than 40, 50 years. And imagine the old alumni, the first batch, second batch, still gather until now. So imagine the spirit, the family, the closeness that you bring, that the program can create, the community. So, especially for SEA, for example, now when I travel around Asian, I can call each and every country is my second home. I can just one pickup phone away, I can call my friend, hey, I'm here, can we hang up? Or even, for example, like if you want to be cheapskate, for example, but like no need hotel. You can just live in your friend's house, making a close connection. You can travel like a true local, like a true native. And also you can talk about issue, be it economic, politics, social, with your friends. Because when we talk on the surface level, maybe you don't know the truth. But when you're talking with your friends, it opens up a layer, a deep conversation when you can know the real issue, when you can know what the point of view of your counterpart, right? So it's a very interesting program. It's a very lifetime opportunity. So brace yourself, just try it. Whatever the result, like Kakadi said, even if you don't manage to be the one to be sent out to the program, you will have a lasting bonding as a participant, for example. Years after that, you will still be able to connect with the people in the WhatsApp group. So you will have broaden your experience, your friendship. So that's why you should join.
All right. You know what? Thank you so much, Ken, Gabby, Michiko, and also Paisa. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
And hopefully, for the viewers watching, no reason not to apply, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I can, I'll try. I'll have to try that.
Thank you so much. Well, viewers, we're going to take another break now. Keep it right here on the 2-Hour News Show, only on See You Today.